Oh, no worries.
put this up afterwards in case someone wants to watch. So hello, anyone who's joining all of a sudden. Yes. So this is an interesting matchup. So the Necro are on defense.
Hmm.
So the choice of what to put on the line for the Dark Elves is not something they have to consider right this second. They can do that in the next half.
Which could be concerning though, because you'll probably like if I'm the Dark Elves, I want to put my dodge, my wrestle, and my dirty player on the line.
Yeah, but then
Uh,
you have to bench stuff, like
but if you,
because if you think about it, like you want the kick on the field on your defense,
mhm,
right? And you can't put the kick on the line. So then, what are you benching in order to get all those players? Maybe the Edge 5 rookie, because the Edge
probably the
5
Edge 5 rookie.
isn't great, but then there's still another player you need to bench.
Uh, I actually don't know. Like you don't want to bench the guard piece.
Oh no,
That's kind
absolutely
of
not.
it,
Yeah,
unless you bench a positional.
yeah. So I think you have to accept not getting maybe one of the one
Maybe
of
it's a
the
kicker then, because the
yeah maybe
kicker either goes on the line or goes on the bench, because like either of those negates his ability to kick the ball.
yeah maybe it's not ideal either way though, is it? Right, like
No.
you do want to be running the kicker. Aljaro. Oh, yeah, one of the unusual things that we've got going on here is because we're streaming from the Discord of Viltanir, we can actually see the
Yeah.
in-game chat of the players. Like,
Yeah.
normally we
That's
don't get that insight. We
that
just have
is
to.
good to know though about the Wolves, because they do seem a little undercooked compared to the rest of the team. But if he's just been cycling them because they're not rolling anything special, then that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing about Wolves, right? Like, you can get a three single level up Wolf, and it's okay. I mean, Wolves are such good players that three single
Hmm.
level ups, you get a blodge tackle piece. It's okay. But they get special when they have either a stat or a double, right? The stat they can take, edge, they can take advantage with, all of their agility access, so they can get blodge. Edge
Yep.
is pretty good. It becomes a potent, like, ball carrier, movement 8, pretty nice. But
Hmm.
Mighty Blow is obviously kind of transformative for the team, because then you've got that glorious claw mighty thing going on, and with frenzy, that's pretty powerful too. So yeah. The other thing that's interesting about the way that Aljairo has built this team is that I think it's very common to take at least one of the whites as stand firm, so that you have the triple stand firm to deny the one turns.
Right.
Because he's got two level 3 whites. He's got 3 levels on both whites, and none of them are stand firm, which means that actually the one turn is very on, because there's a movement 8 witch elf.
Yeah. There's Moon Age Witch. Yep.
So I find that a little bit surprising. I would have thought that you could have foregone one of those tackles maybe to get a stand firm.
Yeah, like it's interesting that he built them both the exact same
Mm-hmm.
way, basically. Whereas I think typically you do like one white down a more of a killer route because
Yeah,
your wolves aren't guaranteed to get Mighty Blow, and
yeah,
then the other white goes into like the full support role where they just become a pseudo fleshy almost.
yeah. No, I agree. Yeah, I just think it's really valuable to deny the one turns, because I think if you're playing against an elf team, oh my goodness, that's a
Ooh,
huge KO.
it's a great start for the elves.
Yeah, big deal. Bye bye.
Also
Get out
worth
of
noting
here.
with all those inducements, no babe.
Yeah, also interesting that, isn't it? I mean, I guess you're thinking, well, I'm going to have so much bench, I'll be okay anyway.
Yeah.
But if it's a key positional that you're trying to get back, or one of your star players, that would be helpful. I didn't notice. Did Shiro drop any of his bank on buying stuff?
I think a little bit on Sedek.
Okay. Good morning. I see we
Um,
have in the chat Misspelled Tree and Gadrosi.
oh, misspelled tree.
Yeah.
I remember
Delighted to
playing
have you
against
here.
her several seasons ago in Challengers Cup.
Yeah, with a insane goblins run. Unbelievable. Oh, just wild. That was one for the ages. We
It
are
was.
casting, in case you were not aware, what's going on here. We are casting one of the Challengers Cup games today. This is El Gyro versus Iltanir. Dark Elves versus Necro, always an interesting matchup. Oh, apparently El Gyro lost a puppy to a bolt. Unfortunately, because of the way...
Oh, that's unfortunate.
So that would explain why perhaps all of his wolves are so vanilla. Unfortunately, because of the way Cabal Vision has been acting up recently, we can't stream this from Cabal Vision, so we're actually restreaming Iltanir's perspective so that we can see anything at all. It looks like going to be going after Setek here.
Yeah, I don't hate it.
It's a powerful piece, right? Strength 4, strip ball. It's dangerous.
I would use Pro here.
Pro, yeah. It's what Pro's for.
There you go. Pro's a great skill.
Yeah.
Confirmed.
Yeah. I mean, it's better to be using Pro than like dodging off after the 1 in 9, right? Like, that's just pure upside there.
Yep.
Oh, we got him down. Got a stun. It's going to be nice. The thing about Setek in this matchup, though, I know that the Dark Elves don't have sure hands, so you could be saying, well, Broke Tackle Strip Ball is going to be great, and the Strength 4 is going to be great, I suppose, but, like, there's never... I just don't see Setek ever getting a hit on a ball carrier in this game, unless something goes very wrong.
It feels mostly just like a safety piece, like an anti-potato piece.
I guess, yeah. I mean,
like it
makes some sense.
There's not that much tackle. I mean, there's enough tackle on the Necro.
The Necro
with 2 whites and 1 of the werewolves. But like you could conceivably have that like committed on one side of the field and then give the ball to say let's move an 8 witch and then just run away and say, hey, I have blodge, you don't have tackle to catch me.
Yeah, but I mean even like Cheney with his strength 4 wrestle, like kind of hunts down you blodge potatoes pretty well because you know you're already 55% with the wrestle hit.
Yeah.
Which is actually just the same as the tackle hit. The wrestle hit is as good at getting the ball down as the tackle hit.
That's true. That's true.
So I don't know. I don't know if you needed both. Both seems like kind of overkill to me. Where you could have had a wizard or another bribe or just something to pressure the Dark Elves.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, Setek is still a strength 4 block piece.
Yes. No. He's a good player, isn't he? Like it's hard to say that Setek is ever the wrong pick because of that. Like he's just so strong, like so and powerful. But
like Jed Roasty, there was a bribe as well. Bribe in the 2 stars.
Yeah. So yeah, there was a pretty big. It was 480k TV differential between these teams. So understandable difficulties in picking your inducements when you have that many players, right? Sorry, that big a different TV difference. So we're actually taking the blitz with the wolf.
Yeah.
Which is okay.
Doesn't matter here, but the idea was you can push it into more hits.
Yeah,
on the
exactly. That's the idea. It's from a pure removals perspective. It's slightly better to be hitting with the mighty blow, but it's not a huge difference. It's just slightly better.
And claw is basically just my blow automatically applied to the armor roll.
Exactly right. Like, but I think this is setting up for the foul as well here. Yeah, so we're going to be fouling this wrestle lineman. Not the best piece on the Dark Elf team, but just removing numbers matters, right?
Yeah.
You want to just gnaw away at them because, as we've said, there's every player on this Dark Elf team has got a skill. So if you get rid of the wrestle piece, oh my goodness, and you really do, it's gone, and you've got more bench. It's dead. It's dead. Bye bye. Peace. See you in the next life. Now that's one less. Because that guy was automatically going to be on the line for the next set of LOS hits. Now the Dark Elves are going to have to make a decision about someone else who goes on the line. Like maybe now the guard Lino ends up on the line or something.
Yeah,
or the Edge.
I don't look. I wouldn't be looking forward to this round of Lion's Crown's blocks if I'm out there.
Oh, we've got Trash Buddy. I think that's Buddy on REBBL has joined us. Is Iltino winning? It's pretty early
Debatable.
on. Pretty
Pretty
early
big
on.
removal with that fleshy out.
Yeah, the fleshy out's a huge deal. There has been a hit back on the wrestle Lino. Is dead and buried. Is now swapped sides.
Dead, buried, and then unburied.
Yeah. Do you think he's going to go after this dirty player kick zombie here? That's an option.
You could. It's gonna involve. I guess you'd base on the side of
Yeah.
what's his name, Setek, so you don't give up a free hit.
Yeah, because the thing about that zombie is, right, like, you get rid of that, suddenly the value of the bribe diminishes a fair amount. Ooh.
Hmm.
I think we're going after the white instead, though, with this setup. Which is also a very good hit, right? Like, and,
I think he.
it has the advantage you can kind of tie up the dirty player, and then so that it's not going to be fouling next turn anyway, because it's based on stuff.
Yeah.
And then you hit the more dangerous, like, blitzing player, which is the white. So I think it makes sense to me. But
And at this point, you've committed that blitzer to the white, so you kind of have to finish the job of this right now.
yeah, I mean, as soon as you put that blitzer there, I think that was clearly what you were intending to do. It's just the decision of what you base the dirty player with. I guess I would assume your own dirty player, maybe something that you don't mind getting hit, because whatever you put there is potentially going to get blitzed itself.
Yeah, I think he might have been thinking about keeping the dirty player to foul, but I don't think you're gonna like here. The fleshy on the floor right here could be a pretty nice foul.
That's true. That is true. So we do get the power on the white. Mighty blow, AV8, always exciting, but not this time because we snake the armor roll. Yeah, I mean, if we got both fleshies out, that would be huge. The thing is, fleshies is a remarkably unrewarding piece to foul, with having thick skull and regeneration.
Yeah,
Uh,
I couldn't justify it right now as the Dark Elves just because like you've already lost a piece.
yeah,
Your linemen are all skilled.
yeah.
Do it with one of your like least skilled linemen. That just means you're putting something more valuable in the line next drive.
For sure. So I don't think fouling the fleshy makes a ton of sense. But yeah, of course, getting both fleshies out would be pretty huge for the drive. But I think you're feeling quite comfortable in this drive already with one fleshy out. Still a long way to go though. And keeping the ball deep. Whenever I played Necro, I always had this temptation to just run through with all of my really fast players and charge after the ball carrier. And then I would get my fast players separated from my slow players, and it would just go terribly for me. So it's just so tempting. It's just like, oh, it's just right there, but it's not. Actually, another interesting thing to note about this Necro team is they don't have a ghoul, which is not completely unheard of, right? Like,
Yeah.
But it does mean that their options for ball carrying and the ball handling stuff is a little bit more limited than normal. Although with Shaney, you effectively have a third one anyway. From the floor, we have Blitz, the sidestep, Blodge, guard, Blitzer, a very good piece, of course. But there are, or more or less, only very good pieces on this team. We have Miss Yeti 1 has joined us. Hello. Thank you for having it. Thank you for coming to watch this game with us. Oh dear. That's a KO on a good piece.
Yep. I mean, not the worst, but definitely not something you want to see on. I presume that was going to get fouled.
Yeah, I was just about to say. Well, actually, the foul was difficult. I don't think you're going to get any assists on it because it can sidestep to where it wants to go.
Well, still would have fouled with that block zombie.
Yeah, but it would have
Like,
been,
you had the bribe. You may as well put a boot in it.
Yeah, it would have been a no assist foul. That's the thing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not that dangerous, but yeah, no, definitely, unfortunate. I mean, Aljairo getting diced here doesn't have a foul target this turn anymore. I suppose you could knock over the dirty player and foul that, but probably not. It's an interesting build as well. Dirty player and kick. It's always slightly. I don't mind the combination of skills, but it's one of those combinations where you're like, I kind of don't want this guy to get sent off until at least the second half where I've got value out of the kick, right? Like, if you're on offense first.
Yeah, I mean, I don't usually play teams that do fouling, but the combination of dirty player, I thought usually you'd want to go for like Russell,
Yeah,
because then
that's
he
the
can like
classic, yeah.
stand up
And
and
stand up and
step on
foul.
whatever he
Yeah,
just hit him.
yeah. But no, going with kick instead. Kick's not a bad choice. I mean, kick's always
Yeah,
useful.
no, it's still good. It's a good skill.
Especially if you're not going to take stand firm when you're white, it does help against the one turns. It does look like we are setting up to foul this, maybe putting the wolf out there. Because if you're not fouling, putting this wolf out here, all that does is it means it's going to get mighty blow hit next turn. Yeah. So I think you can stick a. With your broad step guard, I guess it's a little bit harder to get the assist in a position where it doesn't get surfed.
If that was a removal, that wolf gets surfed.
Yeah.
But now the dirty player's in the way of the angle.
Well, you can always dodge the dirty player out, right?
You could, yeah.
Doesn't have dodge, but it's still a still add 4-piece.
Still an elf.
I think that's what Iltanir is looking at here. That's getting rid of the wolves is pretty important. That's the good wolf in inverted commas too. It's the
trouble is your blood step guard is now gone, so you can't put that near the sideline.
Yeah, that's the issue. I mean, the witch being strength 4 gives you some leeway, right? Like you can.
Yes. Yeah, you could. I guess you don't even have to assist it. You just like dodge this dirty player and base the 3, like the Sedek and the 2 zombies, and then
yeah. So you can do
split
that.
right in.
I mean, you could even dodge out the dirty player and just put the dirty player there, right? Like that's a piece you don't mind too much if it gets beaten up, I guess. Especially when you're already down to 1 bench.
Yeah.
It's almost an unskilled lineman at this point. Not quite, but almost. Yeah, tricky turn.
Looks like we're thinking of moving the ball up though, which would tell me we're probably not gonna wrestle or not gonna surf the wolf.
Yeah, if we move the ball up, we do have to think about actually protecting the ball, don't we? So
yeah. Also, the strength for surf would leave the witch on the sideline, having to take GFIs to get off.
Is it?
So,
yeah, 1, 2,
yeah.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, and you can't leave it there, can you? There's still
Right.
2 other walls that can surf it right back. So you probably would have to do all the GFIs. I think I would still go for it. I think it's still worth it. But I can understand this line as well, where we looks like are we sitting up to hit Cheney with the
Don't know how I feel about hitting Cheney.
No,
I just
me
feel like you're
neither.
struggling to get the.
You can get the 2 assists to get the hit with the witch, but it feels kind of like I don't know if you're going to be insecure exactly, but you're going to have to expose your best pieces in order to keep the ball safe. And you're just going to be stretched a little bit thin, it feels, for this hit. But okay, I mean, if we wanted to move the ball up, I guess this makes sense. Yeah, it looks like we're just looking at if we can at least protect the mighty blow from being hit.
Yeah, you have to throw, I think, a 2+ with this guard blitzer.
No, I think you can.
Oh no,
you can make the.
You can't there.
Yeah. So the ball is more or less safe. I mean, Setek is too far to do any cage diving shenanigans. Plus, the way the setup is, you can't get in there on a single dodge anyway. So
The switch is gonna be a bit. Oh, never mind.
ooh, well, that's getting fouled now, isn't it?
Yeah, you can't even protect that.
Like, where's the dirty player? It's the other side of the pitch, but even so, that's getting fouled.
Yes.
but choosing not to reroll, which I think is probably fair enough, because if you do reroll, it's not like you can easily get the witch safe anyway.
Yeah, it should be stuck on tackle no matter what happens with that hit.
Yeah, and had used a lot of movement too.
Yes.
So how far is the DP? 1, 2, 3, 4. So DP needs to GFI to hit. No, it doesn't. It's just in range to hit that witch.
1, 2, 3, 4. No, the D. Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, next to the two players. Yes, the DP can just travel it.
So that's a little spooky.
Yeah, yeah. I'd say we're blitzing the guard lineman.
Yeah, we blitz the guard lineman and we just go ham on a foul, I think. You stand up Cheney, say, okay, you can keep hitting him if you want. It's not a mighty blow hit, so it's not even that high value. That was the thing about hitting Cheney, is like just a normal hit against AV8. It's not that high value, is it? Right? Like, you don't.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah, I think you blitz the guard liner with the white, and then you get, how many assists can you get in there? You can get in minimum 3. Can you get more than 3?
No,
No, I don't think you can you?
no, because the other two blitzers are taking away those squares.
Yeah, I think you can only even get realistically 2 unless you.
Well, you can get 3 if you foul from the square that the guard liner was in right now, and
Yeah,
you
yeah, but
base that
the base,
blitzer.
the blitzer, yeah.
Yeah, that'll give you 3. But with 30 player against AV7, you don't need 3. You need 2 to get to 6 plus, I think. And even then, you're already a little bit overkill.
Right, but you always want more. Like,
Yes.
the bigger the foul, the better. There's no
Yes.
kind of like minimum,
Yeah.
maximum amount where it stops being valuable to add assists. I guess there is when you get 100% armor break, then it stops being valuable to add assists. But okay. Right, but with this setup, we're only getting 2 assists because we've just moved the. No, that's not true. Sorry, that's not true. You can still get 3.
Mm-hmm.
Although it means who's the counter assist for the blitzer? How do you counter assist the blitzer?
You need to knock down the
1, 2,
guard,
3. Yeah,
not follow, and then you can go tag.
yeah. So it has to be a POW,
Yes.
and then Setek can reach 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Actually, even if it's not a POW, you can push it into the square right below the witch, and then step 2 squares down from the fleshy.
Yeah. Okay, well, we've moved every player now, so we literally don't have enough players to do that.
Well, no, I mean this white can do it after he blitzes, right?
Yeah, and then the wolf is the assist on the foul.
Yes. Or we're just taking the 2 assist POW. That's also an option.
Gets a stun.
Oh
Very
no,
nice.
okay, he is going to that square. I think we're taking the 3.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think we are taking the 3 assist foul. But the problem is that now we're doing it by exposing one of our very good whites. I feel like that wasn't necessarily necessary. Maybe it was. I just would rather have the. I'd rather have Setek basing that blitzer, I feel like.
Right.
Ooh, no. Double ones on
Only
the
a
injury.
stun.
So the bribe is now gone. Feel like Eltonir maybe got away with one a little bit there, having exposed the witch.
A little bit, but I mean the witch is still on the floor and the third player is still on the field, so
Yeah, this could be again.
this isn't the end of it.
I assume we just keep fouling. We have what? Infinite bench, because we started with 4. Well, we started with 2, took 2 star players, and then gained an extra one from killing a dark elf. So we've got bench coming out of our eyes. That's not bench coming out of our ears. Ears. That's
Yes.
what I was looking for. So Kudrosi. Yeah. So we just keep fouling that, but so I don't think there's any easy way for the dark elves to clear that either. This is quite a lot of pressure that's being put on the dark elves here, especially with one guard stunned, one guard KO'd.
And all the tackle, all the pieces with dodge that are based with tackle.
Yeah, that's actually very good point, isn't it? So that's probably why he wanted the
Hmm.
white doing the basing on that guard lino. Sorry, guard blitzer.
I do think you just blitz this white right in front of you with my low.
Yeah, I agree. Um, which is a bit spooky. But Necro are used to spooky, aren't
That's probably true.
they?
I
Oh,
I
bit of
don't
power.
mind the push, but at the same time, I think that wasn't worth it because if your roll just pushes there, you don't unbase your blitzer.
True. You mean? Oh my
Oh,
god! And
well, okay.
absolutely destroyed. Jesus, that's brutal.
That's okay then.
That's ow. That's a good removal, you'd say.
Yeah, I would say so.
That's one of the three tackles now gone. One of the two
Yep.
tackle mighties. That was a pricey tag, yeah. Oh dear. Especially with this team already kind of in a rebuilding phase, getting the wolf back. With,
Yeah.
that's one of the Edge 3s. So there's now 3 Edge 3s that don't have loner. 4 if you count Cheney, who does have loner. Um, yeah, it's pretty brutal.
I wonder what Iltonir. I'm not quite sure what he's counting here.
It looks
I
like
don't
he's
think.
seeing if he can try and shift the ball to the right. Yeah, because the Necro have committed quite a lot to the left, but I don't think this swap is going to be particularly difficult for the Necro to deal with.
No, I mean this lineman like so with Dark Elves you often want to carry on a lineman
Mm.
just because they use your positionals up to go do hitting things because that's what they're good at. But the trouble with that is that he is slower. Like movement six is not super fast, and not that movement
No.
seven is like lightning speed either, but it certainly is quicker.
Yeah,
And
for
then
sure.
whenever I've carried on a lineup myself when I'm playing Dark Elves, I always feel it when trying to slide swaps. Like, oh man, I'm just so slow. Um, but I do like that Iltonir has at least most of his team between the hash marks, although two of them are stunned. Keeping your elves between the hash marks gives you both options to move.
Mm.
Uh, like one of my favorite like moves to make is to like put a couple pieces down sideline as if I'm gonna push on the sideline, but keep my blitzers all in
Mm.
the middle, and then all of a sudden just swing the other way.
Mm. Yeah, that makes a ton of sense.
I would
Oh
expect.
my
Oh my,
god, that one regens. But
that does, yeah.
yikes. All of the. Has every Kaz
Oh
we've had
wait, no,
so
it
far
doesn't
been
regen.
dead? Oh, it didn't
It doesn't
regen.
regen.
I
That was
thought I
weird.
saw the skull. I
Yeah.
didn't see the skull, but maybe. Oh wow. Jesus
Okay.
Christ. Uh.
I
So
feel
what's
like
the bench at now? So the bench down to. I still got 3 bench.
still plenty of bench.
Yeah. But running out
Like,
of players for this drive at the very least. Jesus, that was just a random hit. So one thing I was going to
yeah.
mention here was that we've kept a tag on Setek, so there's no cave dive shenanigans with Setek this turn.
Um.
It might be a chain.
No, not at the right because the direction you can train in right now it puts them onto diving tackle.
Yeah,
So I don't think
yeah.
there is one.
Well, yeah. No, I agree.
Oh, actually, no, there is. You could chain this dodge, or you push this dodge Lino with Frenzy adjacent to Setek and the Dirty Player zombie, and then you can push with the Fleshy. Although getting no, you'd have a really hard dodge to fill that last square. Yeah, no, I don't think there are any chain push shenanigans to get Setek onto the ball.
Shame.
And even if there were, you'd be committing so many pieces that you wouldn't have a way to recover the ball.
No, absolutely. I mean, but you're already in the realm of. I don't know. I don't want to say Hail Mary plays, but like you're down a lot of pieces now. Can you get? How far can Cheney get here? 1, 2, 3, 4,
It's
5, 6,
move
7,
eight.
8. Cheney can actually hit the ball. It's a couple of GFIs though. It'd be one dice.
True. Well, you could cancel the witch assist with the other wolf, couldn't you?
Yeah, probably. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think that's a GFI to do that.
Or 2 G5s with a white. I think we're just gonna foul the switch.
I think you're
Like
right. I
that's
think that's what's being set up for here. And also, I think, as you say, it's the same problem with the chain push play. It's like, then what are you doing to recover the ball?
yeah. And also like Dark Elves aren't very fast. Necro are fast enough that they have the time to commit tons of pieces to this
Yeah,
foul.
yeah, agree. Do you re-roll this? Well,
Well, apparently we do.
apparently we do. Yeah. Questions answered. I don't mind that reroll. It's an important piece, right? Like,
Yeah, and the stun means you get to foul it next turn.
yeah, yeah. And if you're not still too busy fouling witches, because witch is still not yet removed. And we set up to be able to take a hit with Setek as well.
Yep.
Which we do before fouling. I guess we don't have the bribe anymore, so taking the foul is a little bit riskier. In terms of turning over, not in terms of...
Yeah, yeah. This is a big old foul.
Yeah, this is very likely to break armor. But only a stun.
Only...
Oh. One away. Needed one more on the injury to get the removal. Still, I mean, you're getting some passive value out of keeping that thing stunned, but you probably need to move the fleshy now. I don't think you can just keep everybody hugging that one witch, which means that probably you have to switch targets next turn. Probably you have to start fouling something else.
Probably. I would want to see Cheney probably come around on the other side of this dodge lino and like really... Well, I guess you can't super pin him in.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what are the numbers right now? It's 9 versus 8. Is that it? It's not as...
Yeah.
Because the Dark Elves have had a couple of their own pieces removed too. It's not been all one-way traffic. But in terms of quality of pieces, it's very much so in favour of the Dark Elves, because one very good white and the fleshy KO is a pretty big deal. Whereas Dark Elves have lost a wrestle lino and a very good blitzer. A very good blitzer's a shame, but it's only KO'd.
Yeah. And yeah, we're gonna hit this way, I think, and go back in that direction because all the werewolves now are committed onto the right hand side.
Yeah, that was the problem. I wondering
They can
about
swing
that
over quickly enough. Like it's not a huge deal.
Cheney move, right? Like, I don't think you needed Cheney pinning in that dirty player, did you?
Oh, these 1-9s on the witches.
They're pretty killer. This
Yeah.
one... Oh, can you eat this one?
I'm very tempted by this one.
Yeah. Oof. So we re-roll. I mean, it's a pretty big swing if you get the power versus being stuck on the tackle.
Yeah. And also just in terms of like positioning for the rest of the turn.
Yeah. Like, if you don't get that power, if you're stuck on there, the swing over is not amazing, is it?
Yeah.
Swing over is not completely amazing anyway, because the slowness of the lineman.
I think he wanted or wants to throw the ball to the witch.
Yes, we are in very sunny, but it's got edge 5.
At this point, I don't know if you can, having used the reroll, but also at this point, where do you put the ball? Because everything is kind of scary.
I mean, you can dodge some stuff off and make a cage, but there's nothing free, is there?
No. And if you do that, then your witch is just sitting out in the open to get hit.
I think that's happening regardless of what you do at this point. I think that witch is the target.
It's like this dodge lino and the dodge guard blitzer could get up there and screen the witch, or they could screen the ball in the backfield. They can't do both, right?
Yeah. And there is a bit of a risk, right? Like, you might want to just bring the ball back, but you can't really bring the ball back because... I mean, you can. Of course you can. But, like, the very sunny means that passing any kind of stay deep and eventually pass the ball up play has to be viewed as slightly suspicious at the very least.
Yeah.
That ball is
Counting it.
still hittable at the moment.
Yep.
Protecting it with guard is okay. Put that guy there. Yeah, I guess if we get the dodge out and the dodge... We get...
I still think we needed to abandon this line after burning the reroll, because there's a lot of things that can be quite scary here if something fails.
No, both these dodges were with dodge, so they didn't need the reroll. This is the first non-rerollable action. And it's not essential, is it? We can
No.
we're already safe. I think the walls are too far away to get around the back.
I'm more just concerned about the Witch Elf.
Yeah, but that's why we tagged the tackle mighty with the lino, right?
Yeah.
Maybe you just blitz the lino and just go for yet another foul on the witch. Although actually there's a Setek play on here. You can just 3+ in with Setek.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you can.
It would be a 1 dice.
Yes.
But with strip ball and block against wrestle.
And Juggernaut.
Oh yeah, Juggernaut. So it's quite likely to be a knockdown even. So it's yeah, but 3+, 4+ with loner.
And again for limited recovery. There's like the Witch is the only scoring threat right now, so I think if you just go focus on her and then continue to hem in the rest of the Dark Elves.
Yeah, that's an option.
The trouble is going to be you can't foul both that Dirty Player and the Mighty Blow, and those pieces could stand up and be receiving targets for next turn to swing the ball yet again.
I mean, that's the problem that happens when you start running out of players. You don't have enough to cover all of the threats.
Yep.
Which is one reason that, you know, kind of break tackle plays with Setek start looking more appealing. Because if you got a good scatter, then you could potentially recover with one of the walls, right? Like, if it scatters backwards towards the elf's field, it's you know, the elves are completely fine. But if it scatters towards the necro, then there was a lot of potential for it to become quite difficult for the dark elves there. But okay, we're going to hit the witch instead, which is, you know, it's good. It's good to hit the witch. It's a very valuable piece.
No break is disappointing.
Yeah.
For necro at least.
Which witch are we fouling?
Or
are we fouling the mighty blow? There are some options here.
I think you follow the Strength 4 still. The Strength 4 is going to be the most disruptive to your own offensive drive as Necro.
And how many assists you commit to it? Because the more you commit to the assist, the easier it's going to be for the Dark Elves to just find some kind of shenanigans to get through.
Maybe just that zombie can step up into the space, or I think the zombie's going to go tag the other two pieces.
Yeah.
Maybe Setek just stands there, because that's still pretty central for the rest of the drive.
You want to keep Setek and your fleshy kind of central. You would like to get the fleshy on a piece first. Okay,
like, why would we?
I think
it's going to lose an assist.
Yeah, I think the question was whether losing an assist was worth putting the zombie in a better square. It's not clear to me that's even so much for a better square though. Okay, we get a stun. Again.
Only stuns. Elton is gonna be going through quite the
Yeah,
roller coaster every time there's this foul happening.
yeah. It's one of those things, isn't it? You've got almost no way to stop it from happening every turn, so you just
Yeah,
prefer to have to live with it. But it doesn't stop you from feeling sad that it's happening. I mean, there's a kind of pseudo gap, right? Like there's an elf gap to 2+3 if you want it is on tackle, but tackle both ways.
yeah,
You could punch a wolf.
you could, you could punch a wolf to make that a proper gap. But I don't know. Well, I guess you probably do have the pieces, especially if you get a POW on the wolf, then the witch could get away for free, or not for free, but
Yeah, kind
nearly
of for
free.
free, pseudo free. The problem is that if you don't push forwards this turn, it's turn 6 already.
Hmm.
You put a lot of pressure into getting good position on turn 7. Like it's
That
not, yeah,
that Mighty Blitzer is actually a very good receiver right now. He's got jump up.
yeah,
He's over there on
yeah,
just a zombie. He can get himself into a good position.
yeah. True. You just jump up the zombie, jump up, blitz the zombie, and get away. And again, we've
I th
drawn all of the walls, like, as far over as they can get. But can they still reach the far end? Far, like one, two,
um
4,
I
5,
think they
6,
might be
7,
just one
8,
short of the
2.
sideline.
I think they, yeah, I think they're too short of the sideline. They can. Sorry, they can't even tag the sideline. That's what I mean.
Ah, I see. I don't like that square for that blister, I don't think. I'm
That
still
looks
not sure what he's planning to do as like what
th-
he's aiming
that looks like
for.
we're setting up to blitz the white. Yeah. If you're putting the blitzer there, it's because you're trying to punch the white. The problem with that is, I guess you're not really tagging anything with the diving tackle,
No.
which could have been a useful resource to have here if we're trying to run through the gap. Because at least if you tag up some of the walls with diving tackle, it's pretty difficult to dodge out.
Yeah. I don't. I mean, I think we're gonna have to throw this ball.
I think I agree. And it's very sunny, a little bit spooky.
Yeah.
Counters the edge 5. Or I suppose you could think of it the other way. Edge 5 counters the very sunny.
We might still be looking at just screening it though, because like I feel like those two wolves there on the sideline. Yeah, we're just gonna screen it.
So we're going to screen. I guess that means we're dodging the witch out to protect the top left corner.
Yeah.
So what's protecting the runaround with the wolves? Because they're fast enough to do that, right?
I think it'll have to be the Muddy Blow.
How far can Cheney get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So Cheney can 2 GFI into the ball or 1 dodge. Setek also has a route in, yeah, true.
Yeah.
So I don't think we're going to be cutting. This doesn't look to me like we're cutting off Cheney's route in. So there's
No.
a Cheney hit on the ball. Yeah. 1, yeah, now we're counting. Now we're counting.
And a pretty recoverable Cheney hit on the ball too.
Yeah, that's the thing, because it's pushing it in the right direction for you.
Yeah. I think we're taking these GFIs with the guard. Oh no, it's a movement 5 card.
Okay, this helps a bit, because it means any follow-up hit from Cheney would be red dice.
I think you would just put the guard white in that gap. Or right above the dirty player zombie, and then that's gonna be a 2 die. 2 into 2 die.
Hmm.
Well, also if it's two G5s from Cheney, then it's not even gonna
Yeah,
be a
well,
frenzy hit.
you could cut the corner to make it so that you get
Oh,
the
okay,
follow up hit was what I was thinking. But
I see.
yeah. Because 2+2+ and 3+ are kind of similar anyway. So yeah, it looks like that's what we're looking at. So saith the wolf. Do we have to cut
Oh,
both corners? One,
I
two,
wonder if he's looking at just using the
five,
the
six.
tackle wolf instead, where you would have to cut a corner, but you could do that.
The problem with using the tackle wolf is that it's not actually a better hit than using Cheney. Oh, I suppose it is because the the ball carrier has wrestle rather than block, so it is a better hit to
Yeah,
use the tackle wolf. But then you have to bring Cheney around to get the assist, so that's at least another GFI. I don't know if I like moving this wolf. It means
yeah.
that the white
With
is the only recovery. Oh,
oh, we're not even
we're
gonna
not
go
going
for
for
it.
the hit. Well, I think the Dark Elves just score then. I think this is just a very, very easy score if we do this.
Well, the Cheney and the werewolf will come around to try to get in the way, but the army's gonna be able to
Uh,
do enough.
they won't do shit. I think like like maybe you're hoping for at best you're hoping for a like a 1 in 36. Like that's the I think that's the absolute maximum you're hoping for, but it might even be worse than that. Like they might even be able to just get the punch off.
Yeah.
Um,
Although my question is going to be next turn, how can Iltanir stall?
yeah, that's a good question. The stall isn't going to be super simple. There's still a lot of elves free though.
Yeah. If this fleshy GFI works, I think that helps a decent. Well, a little bit.
Does it?
Not really.
Oh, dirty
Well,
1D. He lives.
somewhat surprising.
Yeah.
Usually those 1Ds are the deadly ones.
We're still fouling this witch, and we're doing it before moving the fleshy. Ow, and we get sent off. Ouch. Yeah, so the score is just,
Okay.
you know, score is a
Yes, now
formality. You've got,
there's a few ways you can do this.
yeah, you've got at least 4 elves free, 5, you've got 3 elves free, completely free. You've got 3 more elves free on a 2+, one of which has dodge.
Yeah.
I think you should have gone for the hit with Cheney. I just don't like this. This is almost the success state of your play. I guess the actual success state is the mighty players on the ground, and it's just not a very
Yeah.
nice success state. Like,
I think you blitz Setek to free those 2 Linos
yeah,
to
like
then
that play.
go right and cage or screen.
Yeah, you blitz it with the diving tackle. It's the convenient piece.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, you don't need to come from the top. That's the thing. You just need to push it rightwards with the.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a minor thing, but it's using up an extra square of movement,
Yeah,
basically.
exactly. Yeah.
Oh, you don't
Well,
even.
okay. I don't think you need to re-roll that.
No.
You can just accept it, and
Yeah.
it's a little bit spooky to dodge out, but Setek doesn't have tackle, so.
Yep. Oh, we're gonna go take more hits. Interesting. I would be moving this dodge line out first then.
Yeah, I think you move the ball first, and then you move a little bit of a screen in front. This is gonna be spicy again.
Yeah, like
I guess we can just put like diving tackle on the walls.
you could.
Can we get like a proper screen from the because the the position I'm worried about is the top side, like the touchdown side of the blitzer, because we can easily get players to screen the backside of the blitzer. The only piece that can really screen the top side is either, I suppose, with a couple of GFIs you can do it, or you can dodge out the witch. But the witch is going to be dodging out away from tackle on like a minimum of 3+, so it's not.
Yeah.
It's not 100% secure.
Yeah, I don't think I get you want to maximize your hits with money blow and get the punches in because that's gonna help win the game. But
this would be a huge removal, wouldn't it? I mean, I guess what you could say to yourself is this is an overtime format. Like best case scenario for the Necro is they put one away next turn and go to overtime. But yeah, if you don't get the score, that's no longer true. I don't know. Okay, so we're gonna tie up the tackle wolf. We'll leave the Cheney hit.
and I presume this guard Lionel is gonna dodge to try to cut off the Cheney hit.
So you could move the dodge, but the Cheney has multiple paths to the ball.
Yeah, I think committing the guard blitzer to this extra hit was probably not the move. I mean, if this is dead, then I'll be wrong, but
Well, results-based analysis. I mean, it's a valuable hit.
Yeah.
It's part of the equation here. This might be all right because I think best case, I think this might be all right. Like, think about what's going to happen. Cheney could free up the tackle wolf, but then the tackle wolf goes and hits the ball on a 1 dice, and if he gets it down, then the elves just pick it up again, right? Right. Ooh.
Oh.
We do fail the dodge out though. Is this worth the reroll?
I'm not sure.
I
really am not sure.
And we fail it anyway. And the witch is dead. Ooh.
Well, injured. How dead? Not dead.
And we don't Apo it either. Spicy. So that's a big piece to not have anymore. That's the move 8. That's the 1-turn threat, really. I mean, they still have the possibility of a move 7 1-turn, but that's their best 1-turner gone. So let's see.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. He's counting it out for us. So we can also cut a corner with
Setek
with
could
dodge.
do it as well.
Setek can do it as well, but Setek would have to do. No,
GFI is gonna dodge. It's just 1 dodge.
It's just 1 dodge. Oof. Yeah, I like the Setek hit here. Then that's what 2+, 2+, 2+. It is with Loner, but then you've got the wolf who can recover.
Mm-hmm.
And the wolf's blodge. And where's your tackle? Your tackle is. It's down there.
Yep.
Now it does. Your tackle does have jump up, so although I think the Necro can potentially knock that tackle over, it doesn't matter too much that they can do that.
It'll actually be a bit tricky for them to hit the tackle because the guard is there right now.
Well, you've got the flesh golem was what I was thinking. Also, like regardless, it's 1 dice into 2 dice, which is generally, I think, kind of acceptable.
Yeah,
Just
true.
had a small stutter on my end. I think we're okay though. Oh, we're not going
we're
for
not.
it.
Okay.
I think. I think.
It's fine. It's
Yeah,
just
it
gonna
was
go
a
break
great
tackle.
tackle. I thought it was. Yeah. Ooh, I think we're going with the wolf, is what that means.
Yeah.
But that does mean the recovery is a bit spicier because you'll have used. Or you'd be pushing the guy in the wrong direction, right? I would cut the corner. Can you cut the corner effectively? No, you can't actually. Never mind.
No.
Because the 2 pieces are.
Well, we do
You can get it on
kind
the
of
floor.
get it.
I think it's better to put it on the floor, right? Like,
Well,
because it could land next to Setek, and
like that.
the advantage of putting it on the floor is it's going to be a 2+ out either way, probably. Okay, we're hitting the guard piece. I guess there's no point in tying up the tackle anymore, is there? we could also potentially like still try for a dodge out with Cheney. Maybe it's kind of a spicy dodge, but we could try it. If we get it, it's quite nice. Setek is, strength 4, so there are enough
Yeah.
free elves to get him. But if we also got Cheney on the ball, or even picked up with Cheney. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, go. No, we're just hitting the diving tackle. Okay. So that means this is going to be pretty easy to clear, but we do get a KO. So, yeah, you just...
Yeah, it's not going to be a challenging play at this point.
Oh, well, there is... Okay, there is actually something to consider, which is that... I guess if you make the... You have to stand up the edge as the assist.
I mean, the Edge could just still pick it up and walk in on a couple of 2+.
Yeah, but that's the point, right? You need 2 assists, right? 1 assist is the guard, and who's doing the hit. Then if you blitz with the edge, then you're a couple of GFIs away, and you don't have a reroll. If you pick it up, and we've now cut out the possibility of...
The Witch can make it, as Iltner is looking at right now.
It's still a GFI, though.
Yes.
So minimum
But you
you've
get
added
the
a couple
assist.
of GFIs.
But the pickup and just score with the Agi 5 right now is 4 2+, 2 of them with a reroll.
That's true.
So are you going to find a better line than that is kind of the question. I think you can.
I think you can, yeah. I think you can... I mean, for example, you could actually just blitz with the Edge 5. That's effectively a 2+. And then you could 2+ out with the...
Kind of a 2+. I mean, if you roll a both down, then it kind of sucks.
Yeah, but then you can always still... Because you wrestle it down, then you pick up with the...
Yeah, the guard.
piece. So it looks like we are going to be blitzing with him, but we've added an extra assist. This is not great, though. The
push is fine.
Is it?
'Cause it's just, yeah, you just pick it up and walk in.
I mean, it is an assist. Yeah, so 2 2+s without a reroll. And we fail it!
Oh no.
Catastrophe. Oh, dear.
So this is kind of why I don't like that reroll on turn 7 with that Witch.
Yeah, I agree.
Because you want that reroll for when things blow up in your face on turn 8.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the argument you're making when you're making that reroll is that, oh, it's going to be, what's the word? I'm going to have more of a chance of things not going badly by rerolling. But like, I think you always have to assume your opponent is going to find some way to make things difficult for you at some point. So
I think with the reroll of that risk though, like if it's like a block you need a push and you rolled dub skulls. It's like, okay, sure, you can re-roll that because that's going to make that's a very high probability to make your life way easier.
Yeah.
But it being a 3+ dodge that we're re-rolling, it's like, okay, this is a 67% chance of having yet another dodge to throw and then getting your life easier.
No, I think you're absolutely right. And yeah, it's unfortunate for Iltonir, but he did choose to re-roll that thing with the Witch. And now it's a bit spicy as well because there's only 1 KO roll. So the 2... That's going to make a difference for the fleshy, but if he doesn't get the fleshy, he gets still a couple players.
Yeah.
Whereas the Dark Elves need both of their KOs to come back in order to have a full team. As it stands. Whereas the Necro are guaranteed to have a full team.
The good news for Eltonir at least is that the Necro don't have any scoring threats.
Yeah, so there's no counter score, which is nice. Although I assume we're going to see yet another foul because again we still have that bench. Like we can risk downgrading our zombie to a block zombie for the upside of picking off one of these important players.
For sure. I'm a little surprised we're not fouling the Agi 5. I guess it's a GFI to get there.
Yeah. You could have got more assists on the Agi 5 hit as well. Fouls. His fouls have been brutal.
Nothing. The ref took pity on these poor dark elves.
Clearly, poor dark elves. Poor dark elves were 400 TV up. Or 500 TV up. Sorry, just a bit distracted.
While the elves are setting up, I'm gonna go refill my tea, and I'll be right back.
Enjoy. Well, everything gets very exciting from this point, doesn't it, ladies and gents? Doesn't it indeed? What are your thoughts if you're Ilton here now? Are you thinking, oh no, I fucked it? Or are you thinking, well, it's still okay, I'm still in this. I still got a lot of good elves. Got one of his KOs back, but the Fleshy also came back, so going to be 10 versus 11. But the Necro have been really badly degraded in terms of quality with a good whiteout. They've lost, actually, to be fair, mostly zombies apart from that. So the one white's the big miss, but they are missing also Dirty Player and Block on a zombie. So a couple of skills missing. Whereas the elves have lost a very good witch and have lost also a couple of other pretty useful players. Man, it's not been a good day to be to roll a Kaz. I think the only one that's been badly hurt has been the witch elf, which was an interesting one because he chose not to Apo that.
I have to say, I understand not Apoing it with Necro fouling and a whole half to go and overtime format and all.
Mm-hmm.
I think overtime format, I would Apo that just because it's such a big piece to have.
I agree. I mean, when I'm playing a game like this, I'm thinking to myself, I'm not thinking to myself about, next game at all. I'm 100% thinking, what is going to give me the best odds of winning this game? And I think that is a piece. You're not going to get a better Apo than that. Like, you're not going to be... There's no piece that's more important to Apo than that piece, I think, almost. Like, you can make an argument for the blitz, for the killer blitzer, and you can make an argument for the strength witch. But...
Yeah.
It's a close argument. I don't think it's 100% either way.
Yeah. Being aggressive with an Apo, I think, is important in playoff games.
Yeah, agree.
I mean, like, if you're in a position where like the game is lost, then sure, sit on your Apo and hold it for next season. But at that point right there, I think it's a critical enough juncture that you want that witch.
Yeah, I mean, why do we build teams? We build teams to go and bash into each other in playoffs, right? Like this is the apotheosis of everything you've been building for.
I've never actually heard anyone use that word outside of Slay the Spire.
Oh, that's a great game. I love Slay the Spire. I have like 3,000 hours in that game.
Oh man,
Jesus Christ.
I was gifted it relatively recently, and I've been playing it almost nonstop.
It's so good.
Last night I almost got Ascension 20 beaten on Silent.
Yeah.
But not quite.
I like Silent. I think Silent might be my favorite class. Defect is too difficult. Defect is good, but it's too difficult. And Ironclad is... The thing with Ironclad is the good runs just feel like they fall in your laps, It's not so much about you made the correct choices here and here. I think that's miles unfair but like still you get there are more runs with Ironclad where it's like, I got Dead Branch and Corruption and I just won, or I got Reaper and a bunch of strength scaling and I just kind of won.
Right, yeah.
Anyway, back to the game. So we
quick snap here.
Yeah, quick snap. I don't think the quick snap is hugely relevant. That's kind of why I was talking. Like, it's always a struggle. It's like you get a quick snap like this, you think, I should be able to do something with it, and then you look at it and you're like, don't know what I can do with this. I guess the one upside that you have is that because there's a deep kick, you can go and get a bit closer to the ball, which is nice. It means that you can bring the ball back towards your team a bit more easily, potentially. Yeah, diving tackle being
Oh,
highlighted has been gone. So
yeah, that is a
that one
important
stayed
piece.
out. Yeah. The Yes, I was just about to say. So the LOS that the Dark Elves have decided on, they've put the block guard lino on the LOS,
Right. Yes.
which I think makes a certain amount of sense. Although you could also have argued to put the Edge lino there
I
instead.
think the Edge knows who I would have put. Block guard is too important for this matchup and also for your team. Like,
Mm.
yes, an agility lino is, or an agility life elf is fantastic in any
Yeah, yeah,
context,
yeah.
but I think the guard elf is going to bring more value to your team in the short term, even not even just this game, like like the next 2 3 games, until that Edge lino gets fed a bit more.
Yeah, I think I agree. The Edge lino is a project piece, right? But
Hmm.
this isn't where you're embarking on projects. This is Canvas Cup,
Yes.
right? Like this is the end of season. So I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair to Iltonir, I don't want to cast any judgment on Challenger's Cup, but like some people
Yeah.
might have a
Okay.
different
Okay.
different
Okay. Okay.
perspective
Okay.
of
Okay.
what
Okay.
the
Okay.
value of this is.
Yeah.
But I mean I agree. Like I would be putting, I'd be throwing all my marbles at this game.
Yeah. Oh, I think that's part of the joy of postseason too. Is like
Yeah.
you get to just go all out and say, all right, I don't need to think about tomorrow if I
Hmm.
can't win
Hmm.
through today.
I mean, my last game of the season was kind of a pseudo postseason game because it was I win and I'm in, lose, draw, and
Oh
I'm out.
right. Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so it was kind of liberating to just be like, screw it, I'm just chucking everything at this game.
Yeah. 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 I think especially as elves, because as elves you're often making decisions like, well, it might be that I can get a chance if I go like absolutely ham, but then if I'm
Then my
going
whole team
ham,
gets punched.
yeah, exactly. But
Then what? Yeah,
this
I
is
actually play
interesting.
Kislev, so it's even more of my whole team gets punched than with
Yeah,
Elves.
yeah, yeah, yeah. This is interesting. The LOS seems to have gone wrong somehow.
Yeah,
We seem to be taking the final hit with a block zombie, which I can't imagine was sorry with a skillless zombie, which I can't imagine was the plan.
yeah, I think you were supposed to take the hit with the fleshy on that guard piece, weren't we?
I think
And
what we
then,
needed to do, yeah, we needed to put Cheney on the other side and push inwards, right? So we hit the.
yeah, I mean, the 1 and 9 kind of sucked there, obviously. I think
It
he
it,
wanted to push across and foul it.
it did suck, but we would still have been hitting with the skillless zombie
Yeah, that's
regardless.
true. Yeah. Yeah, this is a bit of a confusing. It's also possible that he just misplaced his players on the line. I've definitely done that plenty of times where like, okay, I'll take my line punches, and then I start actually taking them. And I'm like, oh wait, I did this wrong.
Well, that's what I think. I don't think he's got his
Yeah,
players quite correctly set up because if you're always going to be hitting diagonally, that means that you always want your hitting players as the three extremities. So
yeah,
um, either far left, or all on the left, or all on the right. But instead, we've got the three hitting players, which are presumably the fleshy, the white, and the wolf,
hmm,
positioned such that. Oof, that yeah, we were always going to have to take a hit with a zombie unless we punched directly forwards, which is its own problem.
yeah,
Um, we're fouling before picking up the ball. We don't have a bribe
yeah.
anymore. This
I
is
suppose my
just
question is, how much do you value this foul? Because the ball is pretty safe.
oh yeah, it is pretty safe, and Dark Elves aren't so good at just like charging you, but if they get through and they get in the way, it's so
Yeah,
annoying to shift them with all of the blodgy, sidesteppy.
yeah. Like, yes, they're not very fast, but they could still get through and like split the team in half, kind of.
Yeah, exactly. But I
But
think I think we're safe enough.
that's it's all moot at this point. But
Yeah.
I mean, the question still kind of persists. Of, like, is it worth risking the pickup and not getting to foul, or is it worth
Mm.
risking not getting to pick it up? And then, like, would you re-roll this pickup if you failed it with the foul still
Uh,
untaken?
yeah, difficult. Also, especially because overtime is a concern as well. Although
Hmm.
I think if you're El Giro, you're probably thinking, let's make this a one drive game at this point. Right? Let's not even think about
Yeah,
overtime.
Yeah.
Also, just quickly to go back to that foul, we did just lose that block guard Lino who was put on the line. So
Hmm.
that guy is now gone for the game.
So you could just blitz Setek here
Yeah, it's not too
and
difficult
then
either.
run a few pieces through.
You can you can even put an assist in to make the first hit 2D. I don't think you can make the second hit 2 dice. I think you can only make the first hit 2
No.
dice. And the wrestle's awkward because the wrestle just blocks your path if you get it.
Yeah.
You can still 2+ through at that point, but I don't know. I don't think the Necro are in a position where they're super vulnerable to being split by the Dark Elves here.
No. No, they've like that wolf being back and
Yeah.
like yeah, it's just like a one deep screen, but it's still enough to make it not perfect to run through.
Well, it's a one deep screen, but it's a one deep screen with like a line in the middle, right? Like you've got that zombie and the wolf forming a kind of
Yeah.
line, so that you can only occupy kind of half of the thing, and the wolf is fast enough that it can move to the other side of the line where you won't be able to occupy the space.
Yeah.
So I think we are trying to move through here. I think that's what's happening. Um, the
Yeah.
I think
Which I do like. I think like the Dark Elves here, you can't sit back and be passive. You have
no,
to go push
exactly.
the action.
Because you
So
didn't get the score last turn. So
yeah.
if it's just a simple game, then the Wolves win, right? The Wolves.
Yep.
So you have to try and find some way to put pressure on. It's just not going to be easy to do. I think
You don't need a ton of pressure, to be honest. You just need like a little bit, like at least a token piece back there to like make it so he can't just sit there comfortably.
yeah, that's fair. So just ask the question: what are you doing with the ball?
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. So what are we putting through then? We're putting probably. So it looks like the kick piece is sort of pretending to be pressure, but I
Yeah.
think the one that you have to move through is probably this guy. This
Yeah,
is
the guard
the
goes through. You could throw the Agi 5 wrestle through.
yeah, well, because the Edge 5 is dodging through on a 3+, so that's not too bad.
Yes, yeah. I would keep the mighty blow back as a safety. Like I don't,
Okay,
I know
yeah.
you want to put pieces around, but like he was looking at moving the mighty blow up to the left. I would keep it back and not move it up yet because the problem, like this is something I've had it with personal experience of like, okay, I'm gonna like swing around my opponent's line to
Mm,
pressure the backfield, and then they just kind of like consolidate in the middle, and then I can't do anything about their
mm.
consolidated middle because that's with all the guards, with all the stand firm, and there's just no way to get a crack at the ball. So preventing that from being like a trivial thing to do is part of the key of putting pressure on the ball.
Mm. That makes a ton of sense. But yeah,
Well, I
I
guess
just
with that one fleshy is tagged up, and so
yeah,
he's out of the play.
I just look at this and I see there's such an easy pocket for the ball to go into, which already is supported by the fleshy and the white, and the Cheney is there as well.
Hmm.
Like,
Yeah, like you can't even tag that fleshy out of the play, right? The fleshy he's just where he needs to be right now.
yeah,
He's totally happy right there.
I guess you know.
I mean, overall, I still like this. I think I just would keep the
Yeah, I
mighty
think
blow
so.
back. That's the only thing I change.
I think you could go and I don't know. I don't know what you do. Because you can even make a cage here with the white and the fleshy as cage corners, so there's not even like a very good cage dive on. Like,
Yeah.
I think the first thing you do is you just move the ball into that pocket.
Yeah, and then you can blitz the dirty player with the wolf. Yeah, the tackle wolf, and that'll clear off
Mm-hmm. Or
that
you,
cage corner.
yeah.
Then you're pretty well. Oh, it'd be a little awkward. It'd be 2 into 1.
Or you could do it with Cheney.
You could.
It's a bit spooky to do it with the loner, but I think it's probably fine.
Yeah, it's a Russell loner, and like you don't care if
Yeah,
you go take just the Russell in that case because he's doing his
exactly. Yeah,
job of
yeah, yeah.
clearing.
I mean, he would prefer to have Cheney standing up for sure, but
Yeah,
I mean, to be honest, you don't even need to clear that zombie because what you can do is you can just move the fleshy back one square, and then
yeah, that's also true.
Cheney can be the cage corner, and then if you want to, you could even blitz out the guard, the dodge guard guy.
Oh, there's also a surf on the strength for witch if you really want. It's hard. I don't think it's worth it, but if you really want to, you could do that.
Yeah, what? So you would hit with the fleshy first, and then
Yeah,
blitz with the wolf. Yeah, I don't think you have enough pieces to do that.
no.
And certainly you can't do that and protect the ball. So
Now that I'm counting the assists that you need, yeah, I don't think that's gonna be on the table. This is also not a bad option. I think blitzing this guard blitzer
hmm
and then caging with the fleshy and Setek, I think is the front
yeah,
two.
yeah. You can because you can take this blitz even with mighty blow. You can take it with the wolf, whichever you prefer.
hmm Although I do think that I'm not a huge fan of the turn ordering for this
I
sort
sort
of
of
setup.
agree. Yeah.
Like if this goes wrong,
Ooh,
okay, and I don't know why we've moved the fleshy.
that is interesting. Okay, well maybe we're going to blitz with the white. No, blitz, and then use the wolf and Setek as cage corners. Sorry, wolf. I mean Cheney and Setek.
Maybe.
Or we blitz with the wolf.
Are we just blitzing the Edgy 5?
I think that's what I think that's what's happening. Yeah.
Okay.
So we want to use the white as the back left cage corner to prevent any cage dive shenanigans with the edge fives.
hmm
Um, so probably we blitz then with the wolf. I don't want to move Setek because if the wolf has to move out of the way,
I'm just getting more confused every time he moves the piece. Like,
whoa, where
where?
are we going? No, just
Oh, this is.
no.
Oh no.
This is
I
catastrophic. That makes no sense. Don't do that.
what is are what are we blitzing? Are we blitzing the witch?
You know what's happening is he's decided he wants to make a Venga bus. I think, but like this Venga bus is awful.
Yeah, that's just very open.
Because you can't hit. Maybe he's missed that the witch is strength 4 and there's a guard on him, so you can't actually hit the witch with the fleshy.
Yeah, and even if you do, it's still a based.
It's still a base cage, yeah. I don't like this at all. This feels. No. And we had to do a GFI to get this too. And the thing is, like, if we got like a perfect Venga bus here, it's not even any safer than it would be if we had the cage corners covered with guard, right? Like, it's
Yeah,
you, ugh.
yeah. This was a weird
I think this turn was not.
line.
Yeah, I don't think this was. I think there were
I
many ways to play this turn. I think this was possibly not the best one.
I can imagine that what may have happened is the Necro player here was considering a few lines
Mm,
and then committed to one without realizing that they had committed to it, and then
mm,
they were like half committed. And
mm.
I've done that also myself playing
Yeah,
Hunter.
me
Like I
too.
have two different ideas in my head, and I do half of each of them, and then I end up in a disaster.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, I mean, it might be all right. It might be all right because there's an easy way in, but there's no assist square,
Yeah,
and the piece that wants to blitz is the strength 4 witch.
which is also in the way of canceling that zombie assist.
Exactly. So it might not be completely catastrophic in the end. But yeah, there's also
Well, you also just have you have the one die with the guard blitzer to just hit that, or you make it a 2 die, right? And you knock this down, then you just open everything up.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. So then you then you cancel the Cheney assist.
Because what if you get a knockdown, you can follow, cancel the chain system, push to the square that you currently want to blitzstorm with the witch.
Yeah.
But then that opens up. Oh, I guess you're still stuck with the zombie
Yeah,
assist.
the zombie
But
is still counter assisting, but that's you know, you've got a 1 dice with wrestle at that point, which is already, 50% knockdown.
yeah,
The problem is that the follow up hit, I think, would
the follow
be
is red. Yeah.
reds, yeah.
Unless you dodge the guard in at the bottom of the cage, like
Yeah, yeah.
not even into the cage, but just there, because then
Yeah,
he can
yeah,
base.
to assist on the frenzy hit, yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, there are options here. I think Iltinir is finding this line.
I think so, yeah.
I think this is the correct line to take.
Yeah. Interesting to move the ooh.
Well, that's fine. You just push straight down and follow.
Yeah, that's fine. It's absolutely fine, you're right. It's interesting to move the kick lino to base Cheney. It wasn't strictly necessary. Wait, what's this?
I think he's looking for the 2, but realizing now that he can't.
Well, okay. Hold on. There's a chain push, isn't there? If you fill that square that he's looking at with the zombie, no, because you're on the wrong angle from the witch.
Yeah. So right now it's red. Like you can't change that. It's red.
Yeah, I was just looking at if you could chain push the wolf out of the cage,
Uh,
but I think you can't. Not very easily.
no. At least not without using up your blitz, which kind of.
Yeah, which kind of defeats the point, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the witch is at the wrong angle. Okay, so we're going to do the 1 into 2.
No, this is red into red.
Oh yeah, you're right. It's red into red.
Oh, we get it. Easy peasy.
Oh dear. Oh,
That'll do.
That'll do, pig. 3, 2, 1. Something written? No. We did let the timer run down.
Yeah.
Good recovery too. Both the edge 5s are around.
Yeah. Which way do you want to push here?
Downwards.
I think you push down. Yeah.
Downwards is the obvious way.
Ooh, nice stun. Oh.
Well, okay. It's not the end of the world. You can potentially rescatter if you uphill Cheney. Sorry, Cheney. Setek.
Setek, yeah. Yeah, no, I think you just base Setek and.
Okay, fair enough.
And you just say like, hey, your Agi 3 pieces are either stunned, far away, or tied up.
Oh my god.
Oh no. That's a brutal injury. I think.
Apo?
I think I Apo.
Well, I'd have Apo'd the witch as well, so I would definitely Apo this too.
The trouble with Apoing this is that it's not back until next drive.
That
you
is
have
true.
to succeed this drive.
That is true, yeah. Yeah,
Like,
you really want to Apo a KO this turn.
Yeah, exactly. I don't mind that Apo, but it's certainly lost its shine from like a first half Apo.
Mm-hmm. This is honestly, this isn't super easy to deal with, is it? I mean, you can get to the ball. It's just you can't get your edge 3 out, like you were saying.
Well, I mean, the wolf's only like the wolf's not in tackle. The wolf's kind of okay. Pick it up and run away.
Yeah, the wolf can obviously get away. You could also like actually, you could blitz with Cheney, and then if you get the full pow, you can just pick her up and go. But I think you just hit the witch. Hit the witch with grab.
Yep. Don't bother scattering here, I don't think.
No.
Just debating where to put her for a foul, I would assume.
You might be right, yeah. But, okay, the ball is not going to be... How do you make the ball safe after you've picked it up? Can you just... You've got enough players
Uh,
actually. You can just leave it literally where it is.
it's true, yeah.
You can just move the, and you can even get a guard stripe cage, so you can put the other fleshy down to the bottom right hand corner. Well, not if we. Not if we move Setek.
Mm. Oh, I mean, I think we're still looking at the foul on the Switch.
I think you're
Because
right.
with the apple gone, like any removal is gonna stick.
Actually, yeah, that's a point also. The witch has jump up, so the cage there is effectively based. So that's not not actually a safe cage.
It's possible that we might just trap these pieces, these two linos, and potato with the ball on
I
that
don't.
blodge.
I don't think the potato is necessary.
I don't. But with the witch not eating a giant fowl, I'm not entirely sure where we were putting this ball.
Well, I think we just
Oh,
did what I
oh,
said.
we had a chain push angle there to push
We
the ball.
did, yeah, but we chose not to. Oh well. I think you just. I would have just I would have just caged up where we were. Like, let the witch go for the one dice uphill nonsense if it wants to. You could put the foul in anyway. Like, you can, after this, because you're always going to do this blitz, you could always bring the other zombie through to foul.
And El Giro's realizing the wrong angle.
Yeah. Ouch. Oh well. You know, it is what it is. You live with.
Yeah, it
live with
happens.
it now. I just hate this potato. I hate this potato.
I mean,
it doesn't feel right to me.
are we even picking up the ball? I'm starting to. Well, I guess if that was like a mistake.
You have to pick up the ball, because otherwise the elves just come around the side and scatter it, right? Like they can easily.
Yeah. Yeah.
The ball is not safe on the ground there. I think leaving the ball on the ground would be a pretty major mistake. Although, I mean, one thing you can do here is if you hit up on the guard with Cheney, if you don't roll a power on the first one, you did, but if you don't roll a power on the first one, you actually get in the way of the blitzer.
Right, yeah, you would.
But, okay. I think we were prioritizing the foul over prioritizing the ball here. I think that's what's happened.
I don't hate it. Oh, no, we're not even fouling.
Okay. I mean, the wrestle's not far away. The wrestle edge, is it? Like.
No, it's right there. But it's right. Its line in is a little scary.
It is.
Okay, if you go there, it's less scary. It's also for sure an uphill.
Yeah. Well, can you? But then there's also the blitzer. Can the blitzer reach? It's the other thing you could consider. Oh dear. Bloodbowl never change. So this. So
yeah,
what's the
the
line?
Bible might be.
What's the line in?
1,
The
2, 3.
edge. So if the edge
So the
goes direct, it's a 5+, so that's no good.
4. It's a 4+ with the agility
2,
on the
3,
first
4,
dodge.
5. Yeah, okay.
The blitzer has some ugly dodges to roll if he wants to make it.
Hello, Stuart. You'd like me
Oh,
to
hey.
shout no, no, no in Chimera's ears. You ready?
Oh, please no.
No, no, no! There you go.
Oh god. I don't know if you know, but I have a sound reward on my channel that is the Michael Scott screaming no.
Right.
And I have it turned up pretty loud.
No, God,
Yeah.
no! That one.
Yeah, that one.
I see.
And Soup just loves to come in and like redeem it at random moments to make a jump.
Brilliant. Wonderful stuff. Oh dear. So I guess this other edge could get through, but yeah, the one dice against Plodge is... It's not exciting, is it?
No. I think I kind of feel like I'd want to just disengage, regroup, and try to create a new shot, but
Well,
it's gonna
yeah,
be
it's
tough.
possible, but the regroup's not easy either, is it? Because
And the regroup lets the necro regroup, right?
yeah, well, we're all the wrong side. Like all of the elves are the wrong side of the ball.
Yeah. And this situation only was available to us because the necro like positioned poorly, and if you disengage and let them reposition, then they can fix that problem.
Well, and go for the hit, you mean? Yeah,
Well, they could fix the problem of like
yeah, yeah,
the weird cage that was
yeah,
based
yeah,
and
yeah.
not
yeah.
really a cage.
I think Iltnir is looking at dodging the. I mean, just based on where he's been clicking his pieces, I think he's looking at trying to hit with the strength up witch, just
Hmm.
flat 4+, 3+, 2+, dodging out.
And I don't hate it.
No, neither
Like
do
it's
I. And I think he was also looking at what it would take to put the edge in a position where that first hit becomes a chain push, so the second hit is not as awful.
yeah. Yeah, like I think this like all your lines hit the ball involve a 4+ right now.
Yeah. So you see he's
Yeah.
thinking of putting it there, and then
Oh.
the reroll goes early, which is rough. And now we dodge out with the witch elf
Yeah.
and hit. I think that was the plan.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too.
Oh, this is a brutal. Ugh, ouch. I
Well,
don't know if
get
you.
rid of a 1.
Yeah. We don't know whether that push was a 4 or not, though.
That's true.
Here we go. We have dodge. Oh, snake
Oh.
again! Was that snake? It might have been a
It
1.
might have been 1 and 9.
Yeah.
Oh, that is unfortunate. We'll find out. Yeah, it was a
It is
snake.
a snake.
It
Okay, I
didn't
mean,
need to be, but
it
it
didn't need
was.
to be, yeah. Oh, dear. Well, I think... Well, it should be pretty easy for the Necro from here.
I mean,
The
that's what we
Dark
said
Elf...
last half.
Yeah, I know, you're not wrong. We thought it was going to be an easy one for the Dark Elves, but it all went wrong. It all went...
Yeah.
What? It went wrong. He failed a 2+ on the final turn.
Yeah.
By all metrics, he really should have made it.
Hopefully the Necro have learned from their last experiment with the Vengabus.
Well, I think this is a much easier situation, to be fair.
Also true.
But I actually think the last turn was not particularly difficult to get a good cage either. Not the last turn, but the turn 10 or whatever it was, where
Yeah.
we just kind of got ourselves in a tangle somehow.
Yeah, we basically created the mess instead of being
Created the
subjected
mess.
to it.
And then the ball got on the ground, right? That was
Hmm.
the double uphill powers. I think the double uphill powers you can feel aggrieved about, but the opportunity was there, and it shouldn't have been. It didn't need to be double uphills if Ilton had got the power in the first from the zombie either. So like, if you get hit by a 1 dice and fall over, and it wasn't on the Bludge Wolf either, right? So it was only a 1 in 9 to knock the ball down rather than the old 1 in 36.
Even better than that, 1 and 4.
Oh, the witch has wrestled. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think Algyro invited trouble and got in trouble. Honestly, I think we're about to invite trouble again.
I am getting that that impression.
I'm getting that feeling. I'm getting that. I don't think. Where is that guy? Oh, we're prioritizing the hit again on the good piece.
I mean, I can't really say it's wrong to prioritize hits, but
So if this was quad skulls, just humor me here.
hmm
The ball is just available, right? Like,
Oh,
oh
it
my god!
is.
That wasn't quad skulls. That was a choice to re-roll a 1 in 9. The ball is just available. Can we make
Yeah,
it 2
it's just
dice?
um maybe.
Yeah, yeah, we
Yes,
can.
yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, easily.
Ooh.
Oh, oh my gosh. I mean, that is very harsh for Necro to have
Well,
that happen.
of course, but
But
like,
oh my gosh.
think about it this way, right? Like the Dark Elves got a snake at the end of the first half,
That's
and
true.
now
That's true.
the Necro got a snake in the middle of this half. But I think the difference is, well, it wasn't even a snake for the Dark Elves, was it? Because they actually didn't have
No,
to
it
reroll
was
for
just a
it.
one.
But like,
Yeah,
they did lose 2 players on snakes, though.
that's true.
Uh,
Ooh, that heart stopped for a
but
moment.
like, there were a ton of things you could have done to make the ball safer before doing that. Like that wolf that's on the ground was not stunned last turn. That
Hmm.
wolf just chose to lie on the ground. And no, no, you've got wrestle, you've got wrestle. Oh my god.
Okay, that's not a great scatter, but we can work with it.
It's good enough. You've got the dodge line I can reach. Um, I think you might have to do a passing play. It's going to be a spicy passing play because
Who are you
sun.
passing to?
Uh, can we not? Oh, I guess that guy's tied up. I was thinking the kicker.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of places to put the ball.
Well, the edge can get out, can't it? The edge can kind of.
It's basically just 3 2 pluses with the agility piece to get out. This is a 2 2 to
Yeah, and then you can make a kind of
4 2
basic
pluses actually.
screen. Like it's not perfect, but I think you can make it difficult. So 2 2 2 2.
Yeah, it's 4 2s to get the agility piece, the ball, and unbased. But then what?
Well, then so you
Right.
bring this dodge liner around and you like step on. You tag the zombie. Um, the bludge guy you've got is already doing something, and then you try and dodge. End of turn, you try and dodge like the kicker out to sort of form up almost a screen. It's not going to be perfect, but it's sort of there.
I feel like you kind of need that the Mandible Blitzer to make some 3 pluses to get out and help.
I think you have to make at least 1 3+, either with the mighty blow or with the. But the problem with I don't know. Hmm.
That hit having to be a wrestle is certainly unfortunate because like that piece
Yeah.
being on the ground
Yeah.
makes this harder.
Yeah, for sure.
But I mean, it is part of the play, right? As part
Yeah.
of what makes the play good is that you can use wrestle.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
Right. Well, we start with this. Let's make. Oh
oh,
my
we immediately
god.
roll one, and immediately roll another one.
Oh dear. Okay.
Well,
The game isn't over.
no,
It's still in a tackle zone. If you can't
it's just.
you can't get upset
uh,
about the dodge with dodge where the first dodge is a 1 in my opinion because that doesn't matter. Like
it makes you scared, but
yeah. Yeah. But like I've played against people who sit there complaining that their dodges are all rolling 1s, but they actually haven't failed any dodges because all of the dodges were with dodge. I'm like, I mean, what are you complaining about? You're absolutely fine. But that was pretty unfortunate. But I mean, that's the problem with a fucking Edge 5 piece. That piece. That's why we say it's a project piece. It doesn't have the skills it needs to
absolutely.
really work yet. Although I think even if that piece had dodge, looking at the armor log, it looks like another couple of 1s for waiting.
God.
So we can just grab this guy away, yeah,
Yeah.
and then pick up with the bludger. And we kind of just gone now.
Yeah, you can like. I mean, potatoes kind of feel bad, but you can kind of potato here.
I think you're almost at a stage where there's just not enough Dark Elves behind the ball. There's 1 Dark Elf.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to have Fleshy, Setek, this white, like Cheney, all of whom can kind of screen, so it wouldn't even necessarily be a potato. It would be like a screened ball.
Yeah. He's not moving the fleshy, the weight. He's not moving the weight down the field. Like I feel like I don't know.
Okay,
I
but
don't know.
pick
I
up.
feel
I would pick up the wolf now.
yeah.
A wolf being on
Stand
the
that
ground for
wolf up.
so many turns has given me some bits of anxiety.
This
Okay,
pickup could also scatter catastrophically.
that is true. So pick up the wolf and just put it next to the ball. Just put it next to the ball. It doesn't have to do anything fancy. You've got enough pieces to make a decent screen without it. Plus, it's still reinforcing the screen if you do that already.
Yeah.
And then that it doesn't inoculate you against the worst possible scatters, but it does against some of the less bad scatters, right?
I also wouldn't even mind throwing Cheney like back a few
What
squares
just put
via
it?
safety.
Yeah, you could just put him tagging the witch or something.
Because like the dark, like if things go bad for Necro and Dark Horse get a shot at the ball here again, the play is going to be a potato. Like the
Mm,
only thing that the Dark Horse can do is just run away from the Necro as fast as they
mm,
can. So if you put Cheney in the backfield, then that just eliminates that as an option because
mm,
Cheney's just going to be there to sweep up whatever comes out.
mm-hmm. Fair.
But we get the ball, so it's all
We've
moot.
got the ball. Well, it's not completely moot. I mean, well, I
The
suppose it
Agi
is.
5 is still
The Edgy Five
able
is
to
still
do
there.
things.
There's a dodge lino, so he's chosen to use Cheney to tag that dodge lino, which I think is a fine choice. Please pick up the wolf. Yes, the wolf
Oh
is
man.
alive. Uh,
So,
hmm.
this is actually not very safe. The
No, it's not.
witch can jump up, hit that zombie to get the
Yeah, yeah,
guard
yeah,
in. I mean, this is better. Like putting the wolf
yeah.
like,
Once
instead of
you
the
get
eye
the wolf
cage.
here, yeah, I like this better than the eye cage. You do get a one dice with the dodge guy.
Hmm
Uh, it's not that easy though, because he's not got enough movement, does he? He's a lino. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh
It's
yes,
one
he
GFI.
one GFI. Yeah. And
Yeah.
once we get this zombie back, that helps too.
Yes.
Now I wonder if he's going to move. Oh, we're going to foul the edge. Okay.
That's reasonable, I think. I
Yeah, I
don't
think it's
hate
fine.
it.
I
It
wonder if we're going to dodge out Setek or not. I think you don't,
yeah, I also think you don't.
but I could see why someone would.
That's also true. Yeah, I would not. I wouldn't even punch with him. Like I think he's doing a
No,
fine job standing there.
yeah. I think he's not. I think he is going to dodge him out because he's moved that zombie. That's
No, he's just punching.
Setek's strength 4. He doesn't need the assist.
Yeah, that was a little odd. Maybe it'd just be a slight mistake.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean,
Okay.
postseason nerves.
Yeah,
Can't
yeah,
fault the
for
coaches.
sure. I know. I've been there. Oh, it's
Especially with
terrible.
like how crazy this half has gone. I mean, the whole
Yeah,
game really.
yeah. But he's close. He's close to being out of the woods now, right?
Yeah. I mean, that kind of leaves well, not really a shot with the. Uh,
He's looking at doing a bunch of GFIs to hit with the tackle
you
guy.
might be able to bring out the tackle guy could come in and make the hit. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, two GFIs.
2 GFIs. The witch can jump up this zombie, as you mentioned before. I
But
don't think.
with the werewolf now in the middle there, that doesn't matter as much because it doesn't get that guard
No,
super free.
no, but you could 4+ in with the guard to. You get the guard served, but.
True. But yeah, I think you just assist with that dodge, Lino, and then blitz with the Mighty Bull Blitzer.
Yeah, I think that's the simplest play. I agree. The problem is the assist square that he can reach on 2+ dodges is also the square he wants to blitz from.
Yeah.
Um, You have to go through tackle on that one.
Yep.
Yeah, no, there's no other way. You have to go through, either do a GFI or do. I wonder about sending that guy up. I wonder if that's even right.
Um.
Oh my god! Is that... Okay, so it wasn't a snake.
No.
It was a 1 on the first dodge, and then... Ooh,
Popped dodge on the 3, and then
yeah, yeah. That's a... Yeah, that's it. Oh, dodge is used. It's all the 2s now. Got him, got him, got him, got him, got
got
the
him.
wolf!
Oh, finally.
Mighty blow on the blodger. Nope.
Oh, that is not
That's a
a good
scatter.
scatter. I mean, it's a
Oh, we could. It's
2 plus 3 plus 3 plus.
yeah, we could. We absolutely could. 2+ is without dodge. 3+ is with dodge.
Yeah.
We could also
And it,
dodge the guard lino out first.
oh,
Oh my god.
no.
I was gonna say we could dodge
Oh,
the guard
man.
lino out first to put an extra tag on the ball. Guard lino, guard blitzer, blitzer. I think it is.
Yeah.
Highlighting. Yes, there was another one.
There were a lot of 2s in that line, but there were also like, a lot of 1s thrown during that run of 2s. So
What's
now the
line
Necro
now?
punch the Edgy 5 with the fleshy, pick up with the block wolf, and run the other way.
You can hand
And
off
you can.
to Cheney with catch.
I don't think you need to. Like, I think you can pin in this Mighty Blow tackle piece. You could even surf the Mighty Blow tackle piece if you really wanted to. I wouldn't, because that makes your pickup worse, but you could. I think, yeah, just the guard fleshy punches the Edgy 5 and lets the block wolf pick up the ball.
Yeah, that works.
And go to the right.
It's like we're hitting with the wolf.
Oh. Don't like that.
Well, I think if we're doing that, we're probably going to either pick up with the Blodge Wolf or pick up with the white and hand off to Cheney. I don't mind picking up with the white and handing off to Cheney, because if you get it, it's basically done, right? Like, there's no way they can catch you at all. Whereas if you pick up with the wolf, there will be some sequence of dice that could be made. Sorry, if you pick up with the wolf and run away, there will be some sequence of dice that can be made.
Yes, but also like you blitz the Mighty Blow with the white and shove it into that corner more. Like I think you'd have the elves pretty pinned in on the sideline.
Yeah, maybe.
Just that dirty player would be available. I mean, yeah, you're just sitting with it. You're kind of potatoing, but you're kind of not because you're screening the elves against the sideline.
Okay, we're not doing the Cheney handoff play. I think he's just trying to pick up with the Blodge Wolf.
Yeah, I definitely feel like the Necro Coach has a little bit of tunnel vision on like wanting to achieve a certain thing.
Yeah, I agree. Like, it's not very flexible in the plays, right? Like, if it's...
Yeah, there's like a fanatical commitment to a certain idea.
Yeah.
And then...
yeah. Hello, Gimlick! Yes, just surf. Absolutely. We're going to surf that strength 4 witch elf. Just go ham. I don't know. It still feels like we're moving in the wrong direction somehow.
Yeah. There's too many pieces being committed backwards.
Because now I don't... Yeah.
I mean, it's turn 14. You still have plenty of time if you're Necro.
No, it's not about the time, though, is it? It's about... Here we are surfing the witch. Goodness me. Okay.
Well.
It's fine. So if this does go to overtime, we're okay. It's about the fact that I don't think it's going to be super easy to stop the Dells from having something now. Like, maybe not something good, but they'll have something.
Yeah.
And maybe you didn't need to give them something. Maybe you could have said, all right, I'm just going to have absolute control here.
Yeah, like we keep letting the elves have an extra try. It's very, very sporting of the Necro.
Yeah, absolutely. The fact that the ball has been on the ground like 4 out of the 6 turns or something that we've had so far is a little alarming. But
I
yeah.
do really hope this doesn't go to overtime because I do need to leave
Oh no.
very soon.
So you were now cheering for the Necro, are you? Is that what's
Well,
going
I would still rather see the elves somehow score in the next 3 turns.
on? Okay, we're going backwards. All right, this makes sense. This fine. This is fine.
Yeah.
But I mean, the disadvantage of doing it this way was we had to do the 3+ dodge off, and we had to do the, which it wasn't free, right? Like, whereas we had the easy one dives. We did have
Very easy.
just the pickup with. Oops, sorry about that.
No worries.
It would appear that Alexa wants her say in this match. Oh dear. Yes.
Everything okay?
Thanks.
So we're looking at a shot in the ball here. It's a 4+ and a 3+,
Yeah, and it's against Blodge. It's not amazing, is it?
and it's a 1D. Yeah.
But so we could do an extra 4+ to put this assist in. Is that what the idea is?
Instead of it being a red dice, is what this
Yeah.
4+ is doing.
Yeah. So it's what, 2+, 4+, 4+, no, 3+.
3+ 1D.
Yeah. I mean, it's there.
Yeah.
You're not gonna,
It does exist.
You're not going to slow the Necro down, are you? So just continuously attacking the ball makes sense to me.
Yeah, it's always a tough spot. It's like you're just like, well, you can't do anything else.
Mm. The crowd will rock you. I do like this Dark Elf theme. Oh, we get the 4+. Okay, so now we've got
Yep.
the 3+1 dice. Eltonir is out of rerolls for what it's worth.
Mm-hmm.
In an overtime format, as
Yeah. This is
correctly
basically.
observed earlier. Tackle.
Hey, well, it wasn't a 1 that time.
True. Okay, now can we make the ball safe this time?
Yes.
Can we do it?
Please.
Can we make the ball safe? We could like surf everything.
You can surf the guard without too much
I think
trouble.
we could. Well, I was looking at I think we can maybe surf both the Blitzer, the Killer Blitzer, and the Lino.
Probably.
Which would just end the game if you did that. But
You need this out of the way first.
yeah,
so you can
that's
move the
step
wolf.
1. And grab is pretty good here.
Yeah, get this out of the way. Get the wolf away from all the elves. Then you can commit your pieces to trying to surf stuff.
I mean, the only reason you want to surf stuff is just because you feel like that makes it safer down the pitch, which is where you want to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
We could also just blitz and punch all of this crap, right? Like that's also an option.
Yeah.
Although that is jump up on the tackle mighty. So even if it's on the ground. Right, yeah, the surf is the double surf is not too hard, right? Like you hit with Setek, chain push that
Yeah.
dodge lino into the fleshy who pushes it off, and then but you've run out of wolves. You'd have to dodge out Cheney to yeah, you need another wolf to do that. Because then the idea would be you frenzy blitz off the blitzer.
Mm-hmm.
don't think that zombie does anything at all.
I
We're
don't think
doing.
so.
Oh,
Oh, we're
okay.
doing
Setting up the
that
chain push.
direction.
Okay, I guess this means we don't have to take a hit with Setek, which is something.
Yeah. And then you can now just surf the dodge
Yeah,
piece.
yeah. That's not dead. Ah, now it is. It is. It's stunned. Okay, yeah. So
Yeah, it's just done.
this is finished. This is done then.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a play on like at
I
all.
don't think so.
Can that liner reach 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? No, they're all out of range. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess technically the kicker can reach.
The figure can technically do it.
So you can like move Setek in the way somehow.
Yeah, like that. And that'll do it. Like,
That'll
now it
do
can't
it.
reach.
Yeah.
Well, actually, we can it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, no, it can't. Between the white and Sutek, you can't reach.
Now the Blitzer is the last thing that can technically reach because it's got one more movement, right? So
Right?
we hit it with Cheney and we're done.
Yeah.
The ball is literally
Actually safe.
literally as safe as it can possibly be in a game of Blood Bowl.
And there's an extra 1 depower,
Yeah.
just for good measure.
So I think. Well, okay. It's not completely over. There's a 1 turn, but there aren't very many
true.
elves. I think the 1 turn might be a little on the tricky side. You just stay lying down at this point.
Yeah, you don't stand anything up at this point.
Don't
Yeah.
stand anything up. Because yes, oh no, your pieces are getting fouled. But if you try and run away, it's getting blitzed and then getting fouled.
I mean, it's not gonna get fouled.
Oh, true. Yeah, it's turn 15. Yeah, sorry. What am I talking about? My bad.
Yep.
Talking a lot of rubbish. I've been doing that all game though, so nothing new there.
Yeah, there's no need to extend things up.
There's no need. Yeah, it doesn't do anything.
Other than give you an opportunity to roll more snakes.
Well, what it could do is bait your opponent into taking a hit that they fail.
True. Well, we've seen that work once.
We have. Yeah. I think that's what we're doing. I think we're just...
I'm a little puzzled by what the point of this is.
We're
Is he just going for SVP? Is that what he's doing?
If you're doing that, I think... Oh my
Oh,
god.
another snake.
You are slightly risking the lives of your players. So you don't even hit this guy, you just score.
Yeah. It's very tempting to hit him, though. You can make it a 3-die and hit it with money blow.
I know, but you don't. You just don't do it. You don't do it. You just say, thank you, Nuffle, for the gift of this game, and you go and put the ball away.
Yes. I agree. But we're gonna hit it. Because we're Necro.
Dear.
I mean, I can't even hit it because it's like, it's a 3-die, you have to reroll.
Don't click that. So we got 3, 4, 5, 6. One more assist. Are we hitting with the wolf or with the tackle?
I think with the tackle. And no, just double palace.
That is not a hexaskull.
That would have been pretty hilarious.
It would have been amazing.
Been very in keeping with the theme of the game.
Yeah.
Like, as
You
many
know
snakes
what?
as Siltner has rolled, like the Necro have had their share of bad dice. Not as many, but
True. You know what?
They had a
If
few.
that was a hexaskulls, I still think the Necro are winning this
that's
game.
true. That's true.
Just so far ahead now on players and everything. Alright,
And
well,
only one comes back.
well, here we go. Can you 1 turn? Movement 7 1 turn with...
You have sidestep. You've got
7
a
elves.
frenzy. I think it's doable. I think it's not hard to deny though as Necro here.
Maybe not. We can also greed by just backlining, right? Like saying, I want my team for next round.
Yeah, I mean, with the 2 fleshies, you can kind of do that.
Yeah.
And just put Cheney on the line instead of on the back line.
Well, you put
Because
Cheney
Cheney's
in.
strength 4.
You put
Yeah.
Cheney and Setek on the line, right? Because they're
Well,
starting
no,
lines.
you have the two fleshies because they're stand firm, and then you between them you put
No, but I
Cheney or
mean,
Setek.
you just full greed. You say this is a 1 turn with no reroll, with move 7.
Oh yeah, sure. Because like you're definitely leaving the door open again by doing it like this. The elves have enough guard to deal with all the fleshy guard.
Yeah. I mean, I just don't think. I I would guess that the 1 turn odds are what, like less than 1% or something.
Better than that. Like they're not
Really?
amazing. It's not that many.
It's 4 pushes.
Yeah.
So each of those pushes is a 55%, right? Something like that.
Yes.
So already we're down to 1 in 16 just from the pushes. Then there's 2 GFIs. Then there's whatever handoff and pass and catch has to happen. And then there's actually finding the line in the first place, which I don't think is completely trivial. I would just, and then there's the dodges, which are also going to be
Yeah, that's true.
minimum. I don't know exactly what the odds will be, but like, I can't imagine they're great.
They're not great, no.
And I would say that, I want my fleshies for next round. I don't know. Yeah, it is. Welcome, Danger Side. Almost done with this game. Possibly. I suppose there is a chance that we might be going to overtime. But I don't think it's hugely likely.
I would love to see him pull it off, but at the same time, I do need to go. I need to go like 10 minutes ago, and I just want to see the end of this.
Yeah. Well, we can't tell them to hurry up, no communications.
I think this is already wrong though. You want the witch not doing the blitz.
Right.
Oh,
Oh,
and that's
Jesus.
torn it. Okay.
Yeah, it was.
That's torn it.
Yeah. Now you can. Now you can save your fleshies, right?
Maybe.
I think so.
Or just do that. That works too. I mean, you're giving him a shot again by doing this.
Yeah, I also don't know
Put,
why we would be putting the zombies up here. I mean, they're just zombies, but like the star
you're
players
putting
are
them in.
gone, literally
It,
gone next drive. So
oh, there we go. But you're putting the zombies in frenzy range.
yeah, this doesn't seem quite right. Like is this still doable?
I don't think so. Not with 7
No,
players.
no. Okay, fair enough. What about with the touchback?
I think you're still short on pushes. Because with moving 7, you need to push one of your own players over the
Yeah,
line
fair.
to also throw a hit.
Mm.
So I think it's still out of reach, unfortunately, for Eltonir. Oh, is it? No, I think it might be. Actually, it might be because you push the zombie straight into where that guy is right now. He sidesteps up, and then you use the dirty player to push the diving tackle up, and then the kicker to push into the. Yeah, this is doable. It's a ton of dice, but it is doable. And the witch has to make some disgusting dodges to get there. I don't think we're even gonna try though.
We're not. We are. Are we? We're just moving the ball and taking hits. Yeah.
It is possible though. It is. There
Okay.
is the pushes do exist, but it would be incredibly unlikely. Hey, we got pushes. I thought we would need those for the dodge
Yeah.
instead.
Well, that was an interesting and fun game. I enjoyed that very
Certainly
much.
was.
I think Eltonir will not be super thrilled about some of his dice that game.
Probably
There were a lot
not.
of snakes. There were a lot of snakes.
That was pretty rough.
And there were so many chances given by Algyro at various points in the
Yeah,
game.
So it's one of those frustrating games where like you feel like you've been given opportunities you shouldn't have been given,
Yeah,
and you still couldn't do anything with it.
yeah. Just wasn't quite there for you somehow. Well, there we go. Trainee MVP. Okay,
Uh,
of course. As
all right, well,
always.
I'm gonna bounce quickly. So quick commiserations to Smoothie or Iltanir, and congrats to Gyro, and thanks for casting.
Yeah, peace. Thanks for being
I'll
with us. I really enjoyed
see
your
you
video.
later.
Yeah. Phew. That was a thing. All right, so congratulations, Algyro. Commiserations, Iltanir. Yeah. Oh, you're very welcome, Miss Yeti One. It was an absolute pleasure. Thank you for the follows from Syrup and Danger Side as well. So thank you. And I think do we have Iltanir on chat now? Is that what I've just
Yep.
noticed? Yeah,
I'm there.
commiserations. Brutal game.
Yeah, it was painful.
Yeah, for sure. It just felt like every turn the door was being left slightly ajar when it didn't necessarily need to be.
Yeah, that was very frustrating. Like
Yeah.
I had a shot on the ball almost every turn,
Yeah.
and none of them worked. Maybe I shouldn't have tried all of them, but
Well, it's tricky though, because right, you're 0-0 after
yeah,
the failure in the first half. We thought maybe the reroll on the witch dodge
yeah.
was not necessary.
I should have used that reroll on a GFI for the ball carrier to get him out of range from the wolves.
Yeah, well, there were some options anyway, but like after it's 0-0, it's always tricky because you're always trying to force the play, right? And the fact that the play was on a few times, and you even got the ball down like 3 or 4 times, I think, but always the scatters weren't quite there, or the recovery dice weren't quite there, or something didn't quite work right at the end, and then yeah. So commiserations, and you got a little bit beaten up as well. Though I don't think there were any perms, were there? There was the death.
No.
There was one death on a random wrestle, I know. But I think actually Algyro got the worst of the permanent attrition, losing that white. It's gonna be painful for him.
Yeah, that
going
was
forward.
unfortunate, but he
gave it to you. He gave it to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was one of those things. I was like, I was trying to work out why I was doing that, and I think it was just because he wanted to put tackle on the dodge. I think that was purely why he did it with that guy rather than with, say, Setek or something. But yes.
Also.
Yeah, there were a few pals rolled.
Yeah.
Thank you for streaming it onto Discord for me.
Yeah, it's all right. Thank you for hosting the
no
stream.
With Cabal Vision being absolute bullshit at the moment. Just
they will fix it eventually.
You'd hope so. But I wasn't expecting anything this weekend because it's the weekend, right? So they've got to enjoy their time off too. But yeah. There was there's the option of going into Cabal Vision and just refreshing until you find the game that is there, but it seems to cycle through about 5 or 6 games, and if it doesn't cycle through the one game you need, then you can't find that game at all. So rather than even mess around with that, yeah, hopefully in time for the finals. Yeah, agreed. All right, well, I think it's almost time to wrap the stream up then. I'm just going to check to see who's streaming.
Let me know when I can close my own stream.
One sec. Let's see. So many Rebel games going on. I mean, there were 6 games scheduled for this point in time. We could raid Misspelled Tree, but I think she's playing Chalice rather than Rebel, so maybe better to raid a Rebel streamer if there is one. There might not be. There's Mr. Christie is streaming Challengers Cup, so let's go and raid him. One sec. So. Mr. underscore Christie, I think. Raid. Boom. I think that's right. And should be there, I think. So I'm gonna turn off my stream.